Welcome to today's Explainer. We've got a really fascinating one for you today. We're taking a 2,500-year-old military manual and totally reframing it as the ultimate ancient life hack. We're going to see how strategies that were originally meant for, literally surviving a battlefield can profoundly change how you navigate your career, your physical health, and your everyday peace of mind. Okay, let's map out our terrain for today's explainer. We're going to start with the paradox of war, then move into mapping your inner terrain, look at health as a strategy, explore winning without fighting, and finally wrap things up with the power of water. So let's just jump right in. We are completely hardwired to push back when we're pushed, right? We argue just to prove we're right. But what if that entire paradigm is totally flawed? Ask yourself, what if the smartest, absolutely most effective way to win a battle is to simply never enter the fight at all? This concept is the beating heart of Sun Tzu's The Art of War. I mean, you've probably heard it quoted by four-star generals and hotshot CEOs, but today we're unpacking how this ancient masterclass actually teaches us to navigate our modern, chaotic lives without wasting a single ounce of precious energy. All right, Section 1, The Paradox of War, Rethinking Conflict. Let's see how this ancient philosophy literally flips our modern understanding of confrontation upside down. Just consider the stark contrast in how we usually handle disputes. Our default mode is brute force, isn't it? Pushing back hard, acting in anger, throwing ourselves against a literal brick wall just to prove a point. But every single one of those conflicts carries a massive tax on your time and emotional energy. Sun Tzu offers an alternative, strategic avoidance. Just stepping aside and letting that momentum pass you right by. Disengaging isn't a weakness. Actually, it's calculated mastery. He famously stated, victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. So what does this actually mean for us? It means true mastery is when your planning is so flawless and your understanding of your environment is so incredibly deep that success is an absolute inevitability before you even take action. You don't just rush into the chaos hoping for the best. You set the stage so the best is guaranteed. Moving on to Section 2, Mapping Your Inner Terrain, 5 Indispensable Matters. Let's explore exactly how Sun Tzu advises us to lay out our plans. To lay effective plans, he points to 5 indispensable matters. First up is the way, ensuring you have a real singularity of purpose and shared goals. Second is heaven, which basically translates to your present moment awareness of the environmental conditions around you. Third is earth, understanding the literal and metaphorical landscape you're operating in. Fourth, the leader, which requires you to exhibit timeless values and genuine humanity. And finally, law, getting your house in order, setting clear boundaries, and efficiently allocating your mental and physical resources. And when you synthesize all 5 of those matters, you arrive at this incredible realization. He who knows himself and knows his enemy will suffer no defeat in 100 battles. Deep self-awareness is absolutely your strongest defensive fortification. If you are ruthlessly honest about your own strengths and your blind spots, and you've really taken the time to understand the challenges you face, well, you simply cannot be caught off guard. Okay, Section 3, Health as a Strategy, Your Body as an Asset. Building on that prep work, let's see how these military concepts seamlessly map onto human longevity. It is wild to think about how perfectly military concepts map over to proactive disease prevention. Think about it. The battlefield, that's your physical body and your long-term well-being. The terrain is your unique genetics, your stress levels, and your sleep habits. Intelligence gathering isn't intercepting radio signals. It's looking at your wearable data and your routine lab work. And fortification means building sustainable daily systems rather than relying on, those hyped-up 30-day fitness challenges. You're treating your health as a lifelong strategic campaign. Which brings us to Section 4, Winning Without Fighting, the Ultimate Victory. Let's look at some practical, everyday scenarios where avoiding the fight yields the ultimate win. I absolutely love this story from our sources about Grandpa Daiki. It proves that sometimes the most powerful defense is simply refusing to provide an opposing force. So on day 1, an angry neighbor starts complaining about a plum tree and noise. Now, the natural instinct? Yell right back. But day to day, Daiki offers a totally calm response. He simply listens and nods politely. Because anger with nothing to push against eventually just dissolves. Months later, the hostility totally fades away. By autumn, the neighbor actually arrives at the gate with a peace offering of persimmon fruit. Daiki won the entire conflict without throwing a single punch. And hey, this flexibility isn't just for dealing with grumpy neighbors. Elite basketball coaches use this exact same framework to outmaneuver opponents. First, they scout deeply, studying not just the plays, but the actual emotional triggers of the opposing team. They play the long game by prioritizing robust habit building over quick, flashy wins. They dynamically adjust the plan on the fly based on the game's flow, and they hide their intentions in practice to build rapid pattern recognition. They are actively controlling the battlefield without the other side even realizing a strategy is at play. So, just like a coach avoiding bad matchups, one of the most powerful things you can do in your own life is create an anti-to-do list. Seriously, try this. Consciously map out the trivial battles, the toxic interactions, and the unproductive arguments that you simply refuse to engage in. By explicitly deciding what you will not spend your time fighting, you fiercely protect your finite energy and willpower for the stuff that actually matters. Finally, we've reached section 5, the power of water, flowing through chaos. This is really the philosophical pinnacle of our explainer today. To really, truly grasp Sun Tzu, you have to look at his roots. His tactics are heavily inspired by Taoism, a philosophical framework that emphasizes harmony with the natural flow of the universe. It teaches us that true strength doesn't look like an immovable stone wall, but rather a flowing river that perfectly adapts to its changing environment. When life blocks your path, bending around the obstacle is vastly superior to exhausting yourself by crashing headfirst into it. Think about it. On a rigid path, you push against reality, you grow stubborn, and ultimately you crack under the pressure. But if you emulate the flow of water, you move to the low places. You shape yourself completely around the rocks, and given enough time, water wears away solid stone, losing absolutely nothing of itself while entirely mastering the situation. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with kind of a provocative thought about the true nature of strength. Think of a current conflict that is just draining your energy right now. Got it? Okay, ask yourself, could you actually win it by simply walking away? It's a profound perspective shift from a 2,500-year-old strategist who understood that the most brilliant victory of all is the one you achieve without ever fighting. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I really hope you can take these insights and flow like water through the rest of your week.